Welcome to the Incredible Real Estate Podcast, everyone. I'm Dan Onay, your host. Today we're talking to Nick Carroll. The Orlando Regional Realtors Association named Nick in the 40 under 40 realtors to watch in 2021, which was followed up by being awarded as a 2021 Silver Producer in the Orlando $1 Million Club. Nick is the true embodiment of a real estate concierge. With several years of experience in real estate, he's made it his mission to help families and investors find homes that best fit their needs. Developing deep respect for people of various cultures from traveling around the world, he believes in effective communication, transparency, and giving 100% in everything he does. His professional portfolio and industry knowledge are what have helped him earn trust and recognition from his clients. Nick, it's so wonderful to have you join me on the show today.
It's great to be here, Dan. Thanks for having me.
It's my absolute pleasure, Nick. So congratulations on just being named as a Silver Producer by the Orlando $1 Million Club.
Thank you very much.
That's a massive achievement, and we'll unpack it a little bit just now. But I think let's open up by giving the listeners a bit of background on yourself.
All right. Well, I was born in, no, I'm just kidding. We won't go back that far. But so what's interesting about my background is you look at my face, you see me, I'm as Caucasian, Florida boy as you could think, but I'm actually Hispanic descent. My mom was from Colombia, South America, and came to the U.S. as an exchange student, met my dad, and here I am today, a ways later. And so that's my background. I have my mom was in real estate for 25 years and in all kinds of facets of the real estate industry. And she really got me involved with it. I saw what she was doing and she said, Nick, you really need to get involved with real estate. And with my background in marketing, I did quite a bit of marketing work for different industries. But real estate was like the perfect fit for me. I don't even know why I didn't get involved when I was a teenager or 20s. I should have, but I'm in it now and I love it a lot.
That's fantastic. So it really is in your blood. I mean, with 25 years of your mom's experience, you know, being a realtor is a full-time gig. It's no joke. I understand it. My father was a realtor for maybe 30 years before I was born. And I did get involved when I was a teenager. At 17 years old, I was holding open houses for my father on a Sunday afternoon. Nice. So listen, it's when that bug bites you, there's no holding back. I mean, it's once it's got you, it's got you.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was definitely, once I got involved, I jumped in with both feet. And actually what really got me into it was when we found out my wife was pregnant with our daughter. We had two boys, but once my daughter was coming around, I said, I need to take this very seriously. And that's when I got involved with real estate. And she's been a really good motivating factor. She's my why, my family is, and that's my whole motivation.
Amazing. It resonates very much with me because my family is my why too. And it's what pushes us every day to get up in the morning and deal with people, because it's a people business, and it's not just bricks and mortar. I mean, I've said this so many times, but in the end of the day, it's about people and building relationships, and having a family to motivate you and push you and guide you behind the scenes. It's an amazing way to really focus on what's important.
Good motivator.
That's it. All right. So Nick, tell us, what does a day in the life of Nick Carroll look like?
Well, first off, it starts with coffee every single day. I brew it at home. We grind our own coffee, and I bring my wife a cup, and I have a cup too. So I would love to say, I get up at 5:30, go to the gym, and then start working on searching homes. But let's be real. As a father of 3 kids, it wraps around the family mostly. But you really, there isn't a typical day in my life. There's more like a week of what we do each week. I spend a lot of time with my family. However, when I'm working, my focus is I'm visiting open houses. I'm doing open houses. I'm visiting new communities, trying to find new communities that are going to be of interest to my buyers. I'm also doing a lot of computer work. So just like any office job you'd find, there's a lot of computer work. I've got to search for homes, communicating with professionals such as yourself, trying to facilitate the perfect mortgage option for my buyers, because that's really what it's all about: creating partnerships, developing those, I like to spend time with my partners as much as possible, whether it's coffee or just a Zoom chat, and just keeping up to date so that we can best help each other out the way we can. But I'm always meeting people from all over the world. This morning, my activity was involved with, I actually went to a vacation home that a customer just had sold, and I did an interview with them. I like doing interviews. I'll do a lot with video with my customers. So I try to I want them to see my face. I want to interact that way so that we're comfortable and we really get to know each other, become friends that way.
Of course. So it all, again, it comes back to relationships and building that relationship with the people that you're working with. And it's so important, day-to-day activities, for me in my real estate career, as you said, it was week by week, and, everything else in between is a blur because you're just so focused and zoned in on what you need to get done. So it's important to see that you treat this as a business. The computer work and the stuff that you talk about is so vital to being a good realtor. In the end of the day, it's really making it work to the nth degree, because you got to serve your clients.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to put that work into it.
Yeah.
And the really, like, the cream, what really is exciting for us, for most realtors, is being able to be with our customer, be in the vehicle with them, either following or interview vehicle, and going and looking at homes and really helping them to narrow down the search. And I found the last 2 years I haven't had anyone in my vehicle. It's mostly been this with my phone, showing them homes. And it's been an incredible couple of years just by using a phone and people buying remotely from other locations.
Yeah, it's so cool to see that, technology, in the technology world that we live in, it's really cool to see that people have taken up the options. It was there before, but I don't think before this pandemic, people were using it to the degree that we're using it today. I mean, here's an ex-South African talking to you in Florida about helping international clients attain mortgages in the USA. If that doesn't prove the world is flat, I don't know what will.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's an amazing time.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, Nick, you work for JCPenney Realty in Orlando, Florida. The market is so hot in Florida right now. Give us a bit of insight as to why you think the market in Florida is so crazy.
Well, some of the statistics, and numbers are great, and we can talk about them day and night. For example, in a typical market, just an average market, you're going to find 6 months worth of inventory of homes available. Well, that's not the case right now. It's actually, we have only a month's worth of inventory. I think, and that hasn't changed in the last year. It's just been the same way. We just don't have enough homes to sell. So we're always trying to find more and more homes to sell. As a matter of fact, I have 3 on the market right now. I have 7 pocket listings really is what they're called. And just trying to help find a buyer for these homes as well, to make it as comfortable for everybody as possible. The market's hot because everybody wants to be in Florida. I was just at a home show in Manchester, England, and a customer came up to me and they say, listen, you don't have to sell us. You have what everybody wants. You have what we want, which is a home in Florida. We want to be in the Sunshine State. And so that's what's driving the market. Everyone is tired of the cold. They're tired of the rain, the clouds. It's a beautiful day in Florida right now. I mean, look at the sky behind me. This is really what it's like outside my window right now, truthfully. And so everybody wants a piece of the Sunshine State. Amazing.
So, from first-time home buyers to investors, you've had experience with dealing with all types of clients. Let's discuss what type of properties your diverse clients look for within your area of expertise.
All right. So an ROI is super important. Return on investment. That's what people are looking for. It's huge in our area. And what's amazing right now, especially right now, is the Florida market. It's not just the sales market that's on fire. It's the rental market. So a lot of people are coming to Florida, and the whole focus of coming to Florida, what are they coming here for? The beaches. I skipped Disney and Universal. That's really the number one reason, because I want people to think about those things. They forget it's an hour and a half drive at the most to get to either beach from Central Florida. Really, it's about an hour to an hour and a half. You can be on either coast, which is phenomenal. We have all of the, entertainment that everybody comes to Florida for, the theme parks, the roller coasters. I was with people this morning and they were riding roller coasters yesterday. They're going golfing today. That's what it's all about.
Living the
You're here to
best
have
life.
fun. Yeah, you're at the pool. This is a resort pool in Solterra Resort, which is incredible. But that's it. Spend the day at the pool. And so the return on investment, everybody's renting now. The US has really noticed that people they found out about vacation homes. And so my focus is short-term rental vacation homes. And because the American market has noticed that, it's really satisfying my overseas owners, the buyers who are not owning, because their the rental income is just through the roof now. They're getting peak dollars, and the homes are renting constantly. So the cool part is, yes, what my ideal buyer is looking for is a short-term rental vacation home in a community with facilities like we see in my background here. It's got a zero entry resort, heated resort pool with a slide. We have a lazy river. Some of the communities that I sell, they have a flow rider surf simulator that most people only get to enjoy when they're on a cruise.
Yeah.
So really unique resort amenities that you can't really find anywhere else.
Amazing offering. And this is all over Florida. I mean, I remember when we were talking the other day, you were telling me about short-term investment, rental investment properties where people are theming each room to a different Disney character. And it's drawing in massive crowds in terms of short-term rentals. It's an amazing idea. It's so clever. And the investors out there are capitalizing on these markets.
Yeah. If you just listen, if you just pay attention to what's really exciting, don't go for when someone's theming a house. They have to get some advice from those who have experience in this market. Talk to me. Talk to a property management professional. They know what's really attracting people's attention and what won't be out of style in 6 months or a year from now.
Absolutely. So Nick, how do you find the markets? I mean, if you're talking about inventory for a month's worth of supply, where you've got such a huge demand, I mean, obviously you're going to have upset clients that don't make bids, because in your area of expertise, we're seeing the data showing us, and I'm hearing it firsthand with all of our partners telling us that every property that's on the market, you're landing up with 6 or 7 offers. And guys are being outbid left, right, and center, and people are waiving conditions to the offers so that they can give the seller the best possible offer. How do you find the right buyer for a property if this is what's happening all the time?
So 6 or 7 offers would be a very low number in our market.
Wow.
We have had one where we had 47 offers.
Wow.
So it's really interesting. It's just one of those times where you have to appreciate who is the professional that you're working with. That really makes a big difference. So last year, if you looked at my numbers, I had 17 transactions. It's a nice number of transactions. And what was interesting was more than half of those were actually buyers. So in a really tough market, I was able to get at least about 10 people homes last year when it was the same atmosphere. It was crazy. So kind of a little bit more background on Orlando. 90% of the business is done by 10% of the agents that are out there. So think about that. That's a lot. It's a small number of working individuals who are doing 90% of the work. So when you or someone like me, where we're working out there with these buyers, we have to be really creative. And that's how I kind of stand out with what I do. Marketing is my background. I don't just, what do you want to offer? How much do you want to do? Okay, let's type it up and we'll send it off and that's it. I'm well-rounded in that area where I represent buyers and sellers. As a seller's agent, every time I get an offer, I get an offer, and that's just it. The paperwork comes in, they send me a message, great. But I don't want to be like them. I want to be the agent that the other agent says, I want to work with you. and they call me if something happens with their listing. And that's where my buyers are really well taken care of. Had that recently where with my marketing, I send videos to the agents. So whenever I submit a listing or I submit an offer to a listing, I send a video. I copy you in so that the seller's agent knows, okay, here's the lender that's representing this buyer. Yeah. And then you could come in and send a video or just send an email saying, hey, so-and-so is well qualified. There's gonna be no problem. Contact me for any questions. So it's really a team work. But I think being in their face is really important. I call them afterwards and I just give the buyer the best opportunity to get that home. Because if they want it, I'm going to get it for them. There is a way to do it. I call the agents and say, what do we need to do to make this happen? There's certain things that they can't tell me, but we can work things out and kind of figure things out. So my buyer has the best opportunity, and that's the key right there.
Well, again, I mean, it boils down to experience and knowing your market and knowing the people that you're working with that really gets the deals over the line. To close in on 10 buyer transactions in the market that we're in at the moment in Florida is phenomenal. So well done. And I mean, it shows you that the reason for your success to be named by the Orlando Regional Realtors Association as the top 40, one of the top 40 realtors to watch out for, and with the awards that you're getting. It's about the satisfaction in the end of the day, knowing that you've done the ultimate job for your clients, and you got to make it work either which way. And having that relationship and that rapport with your clients where people are coming back to you all the time, Nick, I mean, it's amazing to see and amazing to hear in such a crazy space.
It is definitely crazy, but it's been an exciting time.
Great. All right, so we've touched on market trends in your area. You've given us a few stats as well. Is there anything else that you could share with our listeners about Orlando or Florida as a whole that you think would be interesting for them to know?
Well, the cool part about Orlando is we have the Keys, which are 6 hours away. So it's a day trip down to, well, not really a day trip. It's more like a weekend trip, but it's a great place to go. A lot of people, what they do is they come to Orlando, and they buy a home in Orlando. So you can use it as a second home or a vacation home, really. You rent it out. People will come and they'll rent your home for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but they're not at your house the entire time. They're renting a hotel over on the beach, or they're going to the parks, or so they're doing day trips, or they're going away for like a couple of days. The house is empty, but they're out exploring and enjoying Florida. We have safari parks. We have several safari parks that people love to go to. We have snow just north of Florida and Georgia, which people like to. We just did that as a family recently. Like I say, it's a lot of family time. But we went up and just went and explored some of the cold weather up in North Carolina, which is 9 hours away. Brilliant. So we're just there for 4 days, but it was an easy trip. And then we come back and we come to our home base. So everyone wants to be where the sunshine is. As those customers said at that home show in Manchester, this is where they want to be as often as they can. And some people are kind of itching to be here longer than 6 months out of the year. But 6 months is a good amount of time to come. And I'll tell you which months those should be.
Brilliant. So again, it's vast knowledge of your area, relationships, treating this business as a business and not just a part-time hobby, really build success. And you have so many different certifications from the NAR that have educated you around being the best you can be, and it shows. You can feel the energy and the excitement that you have for your area and for your business, because you're well educated in it. You've been doing this a long time, and as I say, you've got many certifications. Which of the certifications from the NAR do you believe have really assisted your career the most?
Well, just so everybody knows what NAR is, it's the National Association of Realtors, and it's a national association, which is really neat. And what this organization does, they help realtors to take their business to a whole new level. So you can work with someone who's a licensed realtor, or you can have ones who specialize, who who have see the value in what you're looking to do, what you want to do as a buyer, and they'll specialize in that, or they'll get additional training so that they can really help you to fit in those keys to make connections with people like Dan. And that's super important. So I have what we call a CIPS, or Certified International Property Specialist. I have there's At Home with Diversity, which is, there's all kinds of ones, but the one I really like as well is called RSPS, which is Resort or Second Home Property Specialist. And so that is something that I really, it's my focus.
Your market, yeah.
Yeah, it's because what you see behind me is what Central Florida is all about. It's the lifestyle. It's enjoying the resort amenities, and in a second home in one of these resorts where you can actually monetize on that home and actually have an income from it. It's not just washing its face, as some people would put it. It's really generating an income. That's really what's special, and having that understanding how to develop those relationships within the community, with the sales agents who are there. And that's really important for me. I find that's been the value in having these certifications.
Okay, fantastic. So we have spoken a little bit about the kind of investors that you're seeing purchasing within your area, but let's unpack that a little bit more, and let's understand where these buyers are coming from around the world, and what their real focus is in buying within the markets.
All right. So it's a very broad range of buyers: Brazil, Mozambique, Norway. I'm going to start narrowing it down even closer. Now, Canada has been a lot of buyers from Canada. Yeah. The United Kingdom is by far just my joy. I spend time there, and I love cultures. So that's been kind of the cool part. So it's from all kinds of different spectrums. But the reason why all of these different foreign investors are coming here is because it's a safe place to invest their money. The U.S. market, yes, people come and go when it comes to the presidents or governors or whatever. The things change all the time. However, the U.S. has proven to be for hundreds of years kind of a stable place to be.
Yeah, it's a
and
safe
people
haven.
are recognizing that. Yeah, and so they feel comfortable with that, and it's a great place to just save your money, put your money there, and see how let it work for you. And that's the whole focus, and that's why people want to be in Florida or even the United States. But Florida is really, it's the top spot.
Yeah, listen, it's amazing, bricks and mortar over the years in a safe haven environment. And I keep banging this drum because it's so true. It's the only sound investment that you can see. You never know what's going to happen with the cryptocurrencies. You never know what's going to happen with the stock markets. But bricks and mortar, time and time, no matter how cyclical it is, your ups are much higher than your lows, and you end up making money. And especially in an area like Florida, maybe you can give us some insights as to what the year-on-year growth is in Florida at the moment. I think if I remember reading correctly, it's around 23% year-on-year.
Yeah, well, it's every flight that comes into Orlando, it seems like half of the people are wanting to stay in Florida. So I believe it's about 1,000 people per day are moving here. I can't really give you a specific, but it's probably more than that. It's insane. The statistics are crazy. Again, listen, the numbers change all the time. And that's the thing is I don't like quoting numbers just because there's a reason why there's only 1%. There's only that 1 month's worth of inventory of homes. It's because everybody is buying. These homes are going. Once in a while, I'll get messages every day from sellers or builders, and they'll say, "Hey, this one just came back on the market. 30 minutes later, it's gone."
Wow.
And, so that's really, it's just so much growth here. And it's because of the stability. People like what Florida's doing. It's open for business. Everybody's coming here and they're working. We have a huge technology, professional aerospace sector that's in East Orlando. People just want to come here to live or to invest, and it's just a nice place where a lot of other professionals are seeing that opportunity as well. this is the place to be. Orlando's
Amazing.
phenomenal.
Amazing. Well, with such a huge demand for properties, you're never going to have a problem in terms of finding a buyer. It's just making sure that you top of the pops when it comes to inventory. So
Absolutely.
let's unpack and understand, I mean, where these international investors are finding mortgage solutions, because, you know, from the data, we're seeing that it's 80% of these overseas buyers are coming into the USA and they're purchasing all cash. So there's a huge untapped market there. What are you seeing from your international investors, and how are they purchasing?
Well, I'll tell you what advice I always give them, and it's to leverage your money. That's the problem with cash. Cash is great, but once you spend it, where's it gone? It's no longer in your pocket. And so you don't have that security anymore. Right? Everybody worries about money. That's just what's the world that we live in today. So if you can keep, 60% of your money in your pocket, why not? Or 70%. That's the beautiful thing about working with you, Dan, is that they're able to do that. They're able to leverage their money. They're able to purchase not just one income producing property. They're able to buy 2 or 3. And that's the beauty of it all. Yes, it might be more challenging in today's market, but my job is to help find those homes. And so I always tell people, there are some people you cannot convince. No matter what, they're going to buy cash. That's just because that's ingrained in their brain.
Yeah.
But a wise investor will always do that. They will do what they can to use as little as their money and use as much of your money as they can, right? Because your money's there, use it. So there is a cost to it, but it's minimal when it comes to down the road, when you really look at things 5 years from now or 7 years from now when you sell the property. That's how it should be. Leverage your money always.
You're so right. You know, around the world, the most wealthy people that own property, no matter how wealthy they are, they always use other people's money to make money. And by leveraging and making it work for them and being cash flow positive all the time, it's the ultimate goal when it comes to investing in property, right?
Look at banks. Why do banks, they give money out? There's a reason for that.
Unless you're an international investor.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's just it. It's just, there's a reason why they take your money in, but yeah, you got to leverage the money. It's
for
just
sure. For sure. Listen, it's amazing to see, and the uptake on our product offering from realtors across the US, it's been phenomenal. So, I know that we did discuss it now briefly, but let's see, what do you think, or how do you see USA mortgages helping investors in the current market that we're in?
Well, I think it's helpful because we have someone like yourself who's very involved, communicating with the other agents, because it's a partnership.
Absolutely.
If your realtor is the one who is just presenting the information, yeah, we might have relationships with the other agent on the other side of the table, but they're not going to have much confidence in the buyer unless they hear from the lender, who's the mortgage professional who's involved as well. They really need to hear from these ones. So when you develop those relationships, we have good communication open. It's making the possibility for a buyer's offer to be accepted a lot stronger than anywhere else. Yes, and they used to say cash is king, but that's not necessarily the case anymore. Most of the offers that we're getting today, they are mortgaged. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid thinking, oh, well, you know what? We're not going to present an offer because, we can't beat the other offers that are coming in. No, our job, that's my job. I'm here to write up offers, present it. You don't win if you don't try. If you're not,
exactly. You're gonna have a ticket. You gotta have a ticket to win the raffle.
Exactly. So you've got to do that and develop those relationships with you and with Dan. So Dan can actually be there to support, and he's going to back you up, and he's going to talk to these agents, and he's going to make you sound like, Lord and Lady of wherever you're at.
I appreciate that, Nick.
By the way, I am a Lord and my wife is a lady, just so you know. We made it official by buying a 2 square foot parcel. I just want to make you aware of that.
Wow. Okay, cool. So listen, Nick, it's been so much fun talking to you. I appreciate the good words that you have to say about me and the company. And, for our listeners that are ever looking for property in Florida, I don't think that you're going to find a better realtor than Nick. In the end of the day, you've heard firsthand, and you really understand why I say he's the true embodiment of a real estate concierge. He's a one-stop shop for everything, and he's part of the top realtors association within Florida. So get in touch with Nick if you need any help. Let us know if we can help you. And Nick, it's been a pleasure working alongside you thus far. And it's just the beginning of our relationship, and I see this really blossoming into something magnificent. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate your business. And thank you so much for being on the show with us today.
It's great to be here. Thank you so much, Dan.
Great, Nick. Take care.